Have you encountered a narcissist ever in your life? If you haven't, then you are quite lucky not to have met them. But if you're like me, then congratulations because we're survivors. So whether or not you are interested in learning what narcissists are, then stick with me as I dive in and share with you my experiences with their kind. Welcome to Coffee with Midori. Upon hearing the word narcissist, what comes to your mind? Is it Narcissus from Greek mythology? Narcissus was popular for his looks, and what's funny was he rejected everyone who made a move on him and ends up falling in love with his reflection in a pool of water. His name is the origin of the term narcissism, a person who thinks highly of themselves, constantly wants to gain attention and admiration, and lacks empathy. It could be anyone around you, a family member, a friend, colleague, or a lover. You don't get to see it right away as it takes time. If you're not aware of the term, it's because you have never met any of their kind yet or refuse to see them. It's possible that you are friends with one and you are an enabler. It's the one that tells the victim or the empath that they are too sensitive and disregards what the narcissist did to the victim. In my case, I'm surrounded with their kind. I didn't know what it was called before, but I was really confused as to why they are what they are. I just kind of accepted them as they are, but as I heal, I start doing my research and realized what I'm surrounded with. I'd like to add another disclaimer that I don't have a medical profession that determines who is a narcissist or not. Victims could point out one because they can clearly see what they really are. Narcissus number 1. R. There are times I admire R as they seem to attract people without effort. I thought it was amazing because I had to push myself in order to be out there. But in gatherings, people always pay attention to R, and I'm just like a shadow or a wallflower. Maybe because of the past I've mentioned, I have social anxiety and I'm not just shy. And the people around me just pretended I did not exist. They would greet me now and then, but later ask me who I am or what I do for a living and move on like they did not care about what I say. There are moments that those people would greet and mention everyone else but me, on purpose. But if R is speaking, it's like sparkling everywhere. Though I have heard a bit of what R did share to these people, in which some parts of their lives are not quite true and somehow exaggerated, which I found a bit odd. If you notice this right here, it's one of the narcissistic traits of gaining attention and admiration, even if it meant lying. Early access of Coffee with Midori is available in My Coffee. Just go to coffee.com/ladymidori and go to my tip jar. You can choose two options. One is to give a one-time payment, or two is to choose a monthly subscription for me to continue making contents like this. Other than the early access, your reward includes full episode of this video, plus some serious and personal discussion and dark humor. Did you like a previous fan art I featured in one of my YouTube episodes? No worries. Head over to my coffee and send me a message which fan art you wish to purchase in my coffee shop. I will create a customized version for you to purchase. Now let's get back to the video. I have a lot to share in regards to R, but I have other stories to share, so let's move to Narcissus number 2, A&M. It's like AM for morning, right? I say this because they're a pair. So I'm going to call them AM. I'm close to A, and M is also close to A, but not close to me. Get it? Imagine that I'm the middle person or the third person of a trio. The extra. The replacement when the other is not available. The last minute choice when everyone says no. So this pair were really close to me. They were my comfort persons, so I go to them whenever I have problems with my love life or family. But that's where I'm wrong. Never ever tell anyone your problems and deal with them on your own. If you're going to share them, limit the details because I have learned later on that when I told A about my mental health, she was so proud to share it with M because they're besties too. I mean, of course, the three of us are friends, but like, did I just consent you to share my mental health and what I'm going through just because we all belong to the same circle? That should come from me, not you. So this was the first straw that made me rethink our relationship. I mean, what else is A sharing to M and everyone else in her circle? They both belong to big groups of friends and come from big families. A and M always want the attention to themselves because whenever when we see one another, both of them would be talking about themselves the whole time and I'll just be listening in the background, wondering when I can talk or what I can contribute. And whenever they ask me how I'm doing, they'll just revert the attention back to themselves. The second straw was during the convention. Keep in mind that this is all A. M had a different hobby and profession, so she supports us. Let me correct that. I mean, she supports A on the side. If you get what I mean. I got emotional when I managed to open up to A during the convention because I had to stay at her home because it was near the event. I told her some problems with my family and she did not talk much and just said that maybe that family member was just ill. Hence the way they were treating me. So imagine, you are telling your best friend how your family treats you and your friend says, "Meh, maybe he's just ill, that's why he's like that, you know." When A said that, I just went quiet and wiped my tears and nodded. I did not add on anything else and realized she wasn't listening to what I'm saying. After that convention, we were planning on attending another one. But here's the problem. The art group that we had, it was composed of her and her friends. So she's the main reason we're all in that group. It's all her friends and family. She just lumped us all in together and I don't have a problem with that. The problem is that she picks out who she wants to go to the next convention without consenting any of the members. She takes control of who she wants to go to or who's available. Like we're all just replacements if the other is not available. How do I know this? She messages all of us separately whenever there's a convention. I asked her why she couldn't just make a group chat for all of us so we could all take turns who goes to the next one and who is available. But she disregarded my suggestion, which is totally okay, and continued to message each of us separately. I don't mind that, but it's really weird that if she puts us all together, why can't we just chat in a group? Why does she have to message them separately about it? I know that I sound paranoid about it, but something feels off with it. Now, there was a time that I wasn't sure because of the budget, and I specifically told her to wait and message me back before registering. Lo and behold, she couldn't wait. She took someone else to replace me. Someone who's already ready to pay and is ready for the event. Mind you, she also didn't have enough money at that time, so this friend of hers was willing to pay her up, so of course, she'd take the opportunity. And when I argued to her about it, she just told me she got busy and forgot and that I had to go with her other friends, who I'm not close with, but I know them by name because of the hobby. When I told her I'm not close with anyone in her group, she retorted that she's also not close with them. What a load of BS. You know, it's okay that she finds someone else to replace me even though we talk about going there together, but I just hope she confided first in me so that I wouldn't expect anything. I know it's my fault because I didn't have the budget at the moment, but damn, it was disrespectful that I can be replaced so easily by any of her best friends. When I posted a story about what I'm feeling, she suddenly reached out to me and felt guilty about it. It's funny because I never mentioned her in the story. I mean, why feel guilty if you haven't done anything wrong, And when I told this to our main group, where A and M also belong to, they did not look convinced about what both did to me because who am I kidding? They only heard my side, so they know that it's unfair that they take my side without hearing the other side. But the question is, if both AM would tell their story to the rest of the gang, who do you think the gang will believe? Me, all alone, or the two of them? You probably know the answer. Also, it's funny that A reached out to the other members of the group to try to reach out to me. When I stopped reaching out to them, she never reached out to the other members of the gang separately before because they were my friends. I already warned them beforehand that it might happen, as the narcissist is gaining support to have everyone on their side. People who believe the narcissist or are siding with what the narcissist did are called the flying monkeys, as they enable what has happened by turning a blind eye or a deaf ear to what actually happened and question the victim, making them feel hopeless. Since you're the third person listening to me rambling about narcissists, you may or may not believe me. But this is my side of the story that I never got to tell anyone else. Imagine me sharing this to the remaining friends I have who doesn't have a toxic relationship with their friends or family. Do you think they'll even understand me? But before I end this video, let me give you another example of someone narcissistic in a fictional setting. Layla Rossi, or whatever her true name from the animated series Miraculous Ladybug and Cat Noir. If you haven't watched the show yet, then you probably want to skip this part out. However, if you're interested, you can stay. I know it may be biased from my point of view, but hear me out. Layla manipulates and lies all the time to get attention and admiration from her classmates, especially to get Adrian to notice her. Everyone believes her except the victim, who is Marinette. And when Marinette tries to tell what Layla is doing, everyone is quick to turn a blind eye and deaf ear and be sympathetic to Layla instead. Even Alia had to hold back and enable whatever Layla was doing, thinking that Marinette was just getting obsessive with Adrian, which we all know she's got a point there. Layla has multiple personalities and does not feel regret of her actions towards anyone she manipulated. Layla even managed to manipulate Chloe, a girl who I believe has the beauty and the brain, but has a lot of ego. If you'd like to know more about Narcissists, find Dr. Ramani on YouTube. I'll share her YouTube channel in the description below. She's an expert on this and have experienced it herself. I may have shared my story out here as someone out there may be experiencing the same and don't know what it's called. I hope I've taught you all something new today. So if you like me doing story time, don't forget to leave a comment on what kind of topic should I talk about next. If you've managed to reach this far, type what you're currently drinking while watching this video along with your questions about me in general. I'll do my best to give you a response. Thank you and see you in my next video.